Do you like tanks with big cannons? Of course you do, everyone likes big guns. But they usually are lower tiers and despite being fun, not fit for farming top tier vehicles. Until now. British Centurion Mk.5 AVRE at battle rating 7.0 brings us breath of fresh air. What makes this tank really special? Let's start from characteristics. The only option is 31 kg shell filled with 20 kg of TNT equivalent of explosives. Currently, in patch 1.79, it's the highest amount of explosives found in a shell. Reload 21.3 seconds with a screw, more than 10 seconds faster compared to similar British counterpart. But the muzzle velocity is huge drawback. 259 meters per second when shell leaves barrel. It means that it will take about 4 seconds to reach a target 1 kilometer away. Armor is chaotic and amazing at the same time. The first thing you'll notice is this huge scoop in front made of structural steel, which is about half as effective as normal steel, but will serve as spaced armor very well. Another thing, explosive reactive armor that is mounted on thin plate of spaced armor. And of course, the armor itself reaching up to 160 mm in tank's mask. Survivability is great thanks to additional crew member close to driver at the front of the vehicle. Even if all crew members in a turret are killed, you still have 2 tankers sitting in the most protected area, behind the scoop. Vertical guidance of -10 degrees lets you fight with hull hidden. 18 degrees of elevation will be handy to compensate for gravity, and up to 18 degrees per second turret turn speed with a screw allows to respond to battlefield changes with a little delay. Engine allows you to quickly reach 30 km per hour, but there is a limit of 34 for maximum speed. Backwards, 12. That's enough to reliably hide back behind a cover. Turning, just like your speed, will make you feel like a heavy tank. This 52 tons armored beast is classified as medium tank. Enjoy your free artillery support. In tough situations, 2 salvos of 6 smoke grenades will give you time to repair and reload, and 2 7.62 mm machine guns gives you a small chance to shoot down an aircraft. I absolutely love it in Arcade. It has everything you need in this game mode. A lot of armor in the front and a huge gun on your turret. Relatively small to other similar cannons reload speed lets you to be involved in action at all times. With so much armor in front, trading shots becomes so safe that soon you realize that you are carelessly standing in the open like a newbie. With the help of aiming cross, you can adjust gun's elevation for distances up to 800 meters. If you want more, you are forced to adjust your sight distance because shell drops so much that its path doesn't fit in your sight. When an enemy is not visible but the position is known, you can use the distance displayed on your HUD to adjust the elevation and shoot over hills or even buildings. Even some new options when shooting through buildings' windows that you never considered before become available. The only problem stays the time your shell takes to travel towards your target. So try to minimize distance or enemies aware of you can easily drive around the corner while your shell is still in a flight. In Realistic, it's great, but there is a huge but. In this game mode, maps are often bigger. That means that your biggest disadvantage of shell speed comes into play. Shooting over longer distances is so complicated that it's better to rush straight into the city and meet your opponents here. Sniping someone playing hull down is possible, but in most situations, waste of ammo and time. Instead, I'm trying to get as close as possible to enemies and always going for that capture point that is placed inside towns or have ways to be approached without being exposed to enemy fire from a distance. This way, tank's only disadvantage in shooting precision is minimized, and just because maps can be huge and your success a lot depends on which map is chosen and not your skill, I would think twice before starting realistic with this tank. In patch 1.79, it's actually only available premium in British Tank Tree to effectively research top tier tanks, and for some silver lions at the same time. Great survivability and shell that requires no aiming at weak spots makes it quite noob friendly vehicle, especially considering that most new players start from arcade and compensating for gravity is easy here. Don't expect it to one-shot everything in front projection, but side shots in crew compartment usually kills everyone inside. In battle rating 7.0 you will face mostly Soviets who are really vulnerable to HESH shells, and almost no one has reactive armor. When you are coming home after a hard day and want to relax, the tank is perfect, stressless, and giving a lot of fun every time your explosives detonate on any part of enemy vehicle. Check what YouTube recommends you here, and if you like this kind of videos, consider subscribing.